In the most recent episode of Jujutsu Kaisen, Todo has just shown everyone his new Cursed Technique and displayed just why he is such a force to be reckoned with. And in this video, I'll be taking a look at Boogie Woogie, using both the anime and manga in order to explain and break down just how underrated and useful of an ability Boogie Woogie truly is. Boogie Woogie in concept is not a very complex or hard to understand ability. By using a certain trigger, Todo was able to swap places with things. The trigger for this technique is simply clapping his hand. This technique, while very simple and easy to understand, has even Hanami a high-level special grade curse, deeming Boogie Woogie as a troublesome yet simple technique due to it allowing Yuji and Todo to avoid a lot of unnecessary damage extremely easily. On top of this, Todo is able to use Boogie Woogie effectively to attack his opponents and disorient them. Now, he's able to do this via several methods. He's either able to swap Yuji out with himself, which changes the attack type, the speed, the force, and the simple combat ways that they actually attack their opponents, which are all factoring into Hanami being confused and not being able to truly keep up with their abilities. On top of this, since Todo is able to switch himself out with Hanami, this actually allows Todo to set himself up to be attacked by Yuji and just in the nick of time switch out for Hanami to take all of that damage. In fact, this ability is so effective that even though previously Hanami was able to react to and actually even held the advantage over Yuji and Todo, after Boogie Woogie is put into place, Hanami simply cannot keep up and is continuously tagged by Yuji and Todo's tandem technique. This even goes so far as Hanami stating that he cannot escape the trap of the infinite swapping places and the confusion that Boogie Woogie actually presents. This allows Yuji, who was previously only able to swap hands with full power Hanami, and gives him the freedom to focus completely on using Black Flash and tags Hanami with his Black Flash several times in the actual fight. On top of this, just because Todo claps doesn't mean inherently that Boogie Woogie is actually going to be put into place. This means that in order to confuse Hanami even more, Todo can mix in feints on top of his already confusing and disorienting ability to throw off Hanami or really any opponent that he fights. From the perspective of his opponent, Boogie Woogie is an extremely devastating ability, simply because when fighting at such high speeds and against characters who genuinely know how to fight in terms of their martial arts capabilities and just having experience, and they can do extensive damage to you, every single second of visual processing is imperative. So for your visual processing to be thrown off and your perspective of the world to completely change is something that almost no character will be able to comprehend in an extremely quick or concise manner. And even if your opponent starts to adapt, as we see Hanami do later in the fight, you can continue to ramp up the ability's confusion and disorientation one step further. On top of being able to switch himself out with other people, he is also able to swap people who aren't him, which allows him to save Yuji from Hanami's wide range of attacks, as well as have Hanami get attacked by his own abilities. And finally, to top off all of the impressiveness that Boogie Woogie has at its disposal and Todo can not only swap places with living creatures. Todo actually states that, in his half-truth, that anything that has a certain level of cursed energy is enough for him. This ability even goes so far as allowing Todo to react to and swap with things that have cursed energy present before they're actually fully released, as we see in a manga battle that is pretty far in the Shibuya incident. This means that also, if in the general area cursed tools or anything that has cursed energy is viable or in the area, this means that Todo should be able to switch with them given his ability to react. If I'm being completely honest, besides extremely OP abilities such as like the limitless curse techniques that Gojo has or idle transfiguration which Mahito has, Boogie Woogie is a genuine top tier ability that is almost unrivaled by the kind of like high tier abilities in Jujutsu Kaisen. The only real genuine limitation that this ability has to it is the speed and comprehension of Todo himself. If he is able to react to your abilities and react to your hand-to-hand combat and just react to your attacks in general, this puts him at an extreme advantage. And if you add a partner who was able to put their whole trust in him, similar to how Yuji is able to, Todo was able to take on curses who, in terms of raw physical strength and cursed energy, he can easily be outclassed, but he's actually able to overpower and beat them, which is honestly why, for how goofy the name is, Boogie Woogie is not a cursed technique to joke about. Overall, Boogie Woogie is a relatively impressive technique that I think kind of goes a little bit underrated when people are talking about high-level things. Alongside with the 10 Shadows Curse technique, I think that's a pretty underrated ability, and I might even do an explained video on that. But if you guys enjoyed this video and want to see more explained videos where I cover things like Cursed Tools, Gojo's limitless abilities, the Six Eyes, or several other techniques and abilities and just concepts in Jujutsu Kaisen that probably need explaining for the the mass majority of the general audience. Make sure to subscribe, hit the bell, and hit the like button. All those things help push the video, and you know, subscribing lets you be notified to when I post these videos, which I'm going 3 to 4, maybe even 5 times a week. So you guys will be seeing a lot of videos of this type and structure on the channel quite a bit. In any case, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Links to similar explained videos where I explain Black Flash and other abilities in Jujutsu Kaisen will be linked down in the description and in the cards and end screens where you guys can click. But like I said, hope you guys enjoyed, and as always, this is Broken Ronin signing off.